Hello, Leo. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Jen with Bohemian Path Tarot, and here we are, December. Let's do a December reading. Oh, whoops. Just need the modesty crystal there. You know, YouTube doesn't like nudity of any kind, not even illustrated. So I got to cover up those you-know-whats. So this is a general intuitive reading for a general Leo audience. Oh, nice. Wow, that last week looks really good. Okay, general intuitive audience. General intuitive reading for a general Leo audience. Sorry, I got distracted there by how lovely this last week is. So I invite you to take what resonates for you, leave the rest for another Leo. I am going to toss out a bunch of examples for how these energies might play out. Not everything is going to make sense for your situation, so just, take what does and leave the rest. I've got the Star Maiden Tarot here on the table. I am going to pull a rune card here from, what is it again? The Runes for a Modern Life. Let's see what we got. Nice. Jera, that's one of my faves. I mean, it's one of the best to get, if you like good stuff. Oh, okay. That's good too. From the Wisdom of the Oracle, Go the Distance. Okay, let's start with your rune. So, Jera, or Yada, is the rune of the harvest, and it indicates a good harvest, a successful harvest that you have cropped to bring in. So there are rewards here. There's also sometimes the indication of like contracts or legalities, a contract coming in, a commitment coming in, that sort of thing. There's sometimes the hint of a celebration, but it's more about the sort of the work that comes with bringing in the harvest. There's also with this rune the reminder of the cyclical nature of the harvest. So like we're just at one point of the cycle, and so you are going to have to work again. You are going to have to keep keep working. This isn't the end. This is just one part of the cycle. So just keep that in mind. As you enjoy the fruits of this harvest, there's still work, ahead. Just a different kind of work. And then another thing to keep in mind is, I believe this is related to, the name of this rune is related to the root for year. I believe Jera or Yada is related to, oh, that's not even in focus. Can we get it there? I don't know if you can see. It's related to year. So it's actually, this is the year, the rune for year. So it makes sense that it's the year end. It's the end of the cycle, or the end of the year. So it's just kind of another sort of reminder, or it echoes this year end reading, right? interestingly, over here in the Oracle card, we have a Go the Distance card. Now, this is not about the rewards. This is when you don't see the rewards, when you don't see the harvest, when it feels like nothing is happening. It's telling you keep moving forward. So we've got kind of two distinct messages here. So this could be speaking to two different areas of your life. You could be feeling a harvest in one area and maybe a desert in the other area, but keep moving, keep plugging away. Or it could be that you don't yet feel the harvest. It could be that right now, as you're listening to this reading, you are aware of the desert, but this reading is saying keep plugging away, keep doing the work. The harvest is around the corner. So wherever you're at, there is the support here that what you're doing is meaningful. Your harvest is coming. If it isn't already here, it is on the way. Keep doing the work. What you want wants you. Just keep plugging away. Now, that said, it would seem to me that for some of you, perhaps many of you, Leo, and if it's at all helpful, let me out myself as being a Leo sun. So if that feels at all supportive, when I tell you, as we walk through this first column, which doesn't feel immediately fun, the Three of Swords is a card that feels, it's not saying loss is coming, but it acknowledges you may be feeling loss, or maybe feeling like there is not enough, or you may be experiencing a desert. So this card acknowledges that sensation or that feeling. And the moon also is a card that suggests it feeling loss. Now, the best way, the moon is always hard to describe because it isn't a bad card, but the easiest way to describe the kind of feeling we experience under the moon, because it is very much a feeling, an instinctual and emotional card, is in opposition to the sun, right? The sun is daylight. We see everything. There is clarity, there is joy, there is happiness. We know where we stand because we see it. We see because the sun gives us light. Oops, I think I just hit the microphone. The sun shows us where everything is. We know where we stand. Under the moon, we can't see anything. You have to think of the moon card as being out in, the wilderness, away from the city, away from any structures and light, lamp posts, any of that. When there's no sun, when there's no human-made light source, the moon doesn't give us anything to go by. We can become easily confused by a very simple landscape, by just grasses and trees and what have you. We don't know what we're stepping in. We don't know where we're going. It can be hard to determine where we're at, where we should go. My point is, the moon is a lack of clarity. The moon can be doubt. Even if we love the idea of being under the moon, even if we're night owls, in the tarot, the moon represents a time when we're unsure of where we stand. Now, it can be a helpful time for artists, especially artists that like to explore scary themes or, childhood trauma, people who want to do shadow work, literally and figuratively. But otherwise, what this first column looks like is a time of doubt or insecurity or even a lack of faith For those of us in the US who just had a lovely Thanksgiving break and getting back into the grind of going back to work or going back to school, the first week back at work or back at school might be a Lulu, you know, having to reorganize or plan the rest of the month with the obligations of work parties or, planning gifts or figuring out how we're going to get back home for the holidays or manage tests and finals, year-end reports, whatever obligations we have to do, crams between the holiday obligations. It could be something like that. Some of us could be some Leos could be experiencing a genuine a breakup or a loss of some other kind. And for those of you who are going through that, my heart goes out to you. But I'm going to step back from that because the moon tells us that is a phase that wanes. And I'm going to move to the next column, which is the star paired with the Five of Wands. And you'll see I've got the modesty crystal there with the star. Now, the star is a wish fulfillment card. It's a terrific sign for something you have hoped for coming to fruition. And now, what that is for you is different for what that might be for another Leo. So it could play out a number of different ways. It could be something like a job offering, a contract, getting a role in the school play. It can be something like a posting on social media going viral, because there's also, with this star, a connection to electronic media. There's also a connection to sort of fame and, with the star being another term for fame. There's a lot of ways it could play out. The star is also associated with healing. So if you have been under the weather, and that can be either mentally or physically, emotionally, this could indicate a time when you start to feel better, when your energy improves, when your health improves, when your attitude improves. Something along those lines. It's interesting that the star is paired with the Five of Wands. Now, the Five of Wands can be a time when the atmosphere around you is full of sort of conflict and people who are angry or have attitude or have ego issues. This can be at work, your fellow students or your family members. It can be people you know and love that are just, in an anxious state. It can be due to the holidays that people are just a little bit on edge. It can be, like at the mall, a shopping mall and restaurants, whatever. It can be in really any environment, but usually this happens in an association that we are familiar with, and we have to deal with people we know and love not at their best behavior. So it's very likely that you will be in a position where you will have to take the lead or deal with people who are not behaving very well. Now, if this happens at the office or at a workplace, it may be because leadership has taken a back seat, or there's a problem with management. Maybe your boss is on vacation, or just there's not enough staff, kind of a thing. And you might have to deal with not enough staff or a staffing issue. If it's at home, again, this looks like an opportunity let's call it, for you to be the voice of moderation. Let's move on from that. And in the next column, we have an interesting message in the Seven of Swords, because this is the card of strategy. The Seven of Swords indicates a time when you may have a sort of a heads up on the competition. Now, for different Leos, this could be in different areas of your life, but I see this more often when, like, you're looking for a job or auditioning for something or looking for a promotion. In some way, you have some sort of competition, and the Seven of Swords calls for your strategic discretion as you disarm your competition. Now, it's hard for me to describe the myriad of ways that this could unfold, but it would be something along the lines of, you hear about a job opening that you want from a friend, and you're the first one to get your application in or your resume in. Be something along those lines. But you don't tell your own immediate supervisor that you've applied for this position, or you don't tell your other friend who might also be interested in it, so that he doesn't apply and you're the only one that applies for it. It's like that kind of a scenario. There is an element of discretion where you don't tell people so that it benefits you. It's not about lying, but it is about strategy. And again, that's not the only way this happens. And obviously, not every Leo is looking for a job, right? But it's that kind of a scenario where you do something to get ahead of the competition. So I'm going to say that it could also be in the field of the arts, or even in the area of romance, because here we have the Page of Cups. Pages are, can be messengers, can be invitations, can be announcements, and cups tend to be in the arena of emotions, our connections. This could be something like being on a dating app or your dating life, but it could also be in the realm of creativity, like choir or acting, or somewhere where you use your or some other field where you would use your emotional capacity as well. So take that as it resonates for you, Leo. But so many Leos are superstars. It could be music or acting or something along those lines. It could be an offer to collaborate, or you might want to collaborate. You might ask someone to collaborate with you on a project, and you might keep that in that ask or that invitation on the down low. Oh my gosh, I'm going so over time on this one. Okay, I'll move away from this. I think you get the idea, or get a sense of the idea, but you'll certainly, when that opportunity comes up, jump on it. You won't have a lot of, in order for this strategic sort of discrete thing to unfold, you won't be able to, sit on it and think about it. You'll have to jump on it and, grab the opportunity when you can. Okay, moving on from that, here is your real winner week. The Nine of Cups paired with Strength. So the Nine of Cups is actually another wish fulfillment card. So this is where more gifts come in. It's a party card. You'll be able to have fun and have maybe your drinks and food comped. Maybe somebody takes you out. Maybe you get some spiffs or commissions or more gifts, or, some other lovely wish or gift or offer, or plural offers, gifts come in. And the very last card we have here, it's a Leo card, so we love to see that. But this is the card of confidence, of strength, of feeling magnetic, of feeling balanced in the best possible way. You feeling in your sort of personal power. Rar, Leo. That's a way to end the year. So good on you. I would say this is a really strong year, or a really strong week. So if there's ever a week to clear the calendar, there's this. You'll want to have this week free for fun and frolic. This could be work or play, or work and play. This is wish fulfillment, big time wish fulfillment, while people around you are going a little edgy. And depending on the Leo, this could be a week of disappointment, or feeling a little lost, but it's just a phase. So remember, if you aren't bringing the harvest in yet, it's coming. So just keep doing the work. And 2026 starts with you feeling like your best, most magnetic, most leonine self. So what a way to begin the new year. I'm going to leave it there for you, Leo. Thank you so much for joining me. If you enjoyed this reading, I invite you to like, share, subscribe, leave a comment in any case. Until next time, take good care. Bye for now.